For this tutorial, we will be using Elementor to easily build our new website. Elementor is a free-to-use page builder that makes creating WordPress websites simple and easy. To get started, you will need to install WordPress. Please see the attached video to install WordPress using SiteGround. Now that you have WordPress installed, we need to go to the admin panel. One of the first things we need to do is go to our plugins, and we need to deactivate any plugins that were automatically installed. These plugins can mess with Elementor as the page builder, so it's good to deactivate them. Now we need to go and add the plugins of our choice. The first one we're going to add is our classic editor because it makes editing the pages simpler. The next thing we want to add is Elementor. You can search for this in the new plugins section, hit install and activate. The next thing we need to do is install our theme. Go to appearances and themes, and then we need to search for a new theme. The theme that we're going to use is called Hello Elementor. It's one of the fastest themes available for WordPress. Now go to pages and hit add new. This is going to be our home page. Let's save it as a draft and then hit edit with Elementor. Now that we're in the Elementor builder, the first thing we need to do is go to settings at the bottom left, and we need to pick our canvas settings and make sure it's set to Elementor canvas. This will disable the default menu, giving us full control over what is on this page. Now one thing that we need is a background for our website. So what we're going to do is go to pixels.com. They have free stock images that you can download. Now that we're back into Elementor, the first thing we do is go ahead and add a section. We want to pick the structure, and for this structure we're going to go ahead and just do a single column section. The first thing we want to do is we want to set the height of the section to fit to screen. Now we want to go to the styling, and we want to set the background to the image that we just downloaded. Do this by setting the background type to classic and then click add image. From here you can drag your new image and hit insert. Next, I want to add an overlay to the image to help bring down the brightness of the image. I'm going to do this by creating a gradient overlay. What I'm going to do is set the primary color at a lighter opacity and set the secondary color at a darker opacity. Now we can add our first header text. Go to the menu at the top right and drag in a heading. From here we can insert the text that we want. Let's center the text and then let's style it. Go to text color and I'm going to drag it to white. Now I'm going to go into typography, pick a font, the font size, mess with the weight of the font. The last thing I'm going to do is set a light shadow under the text to help lift it from the background image. Now we can go ahead and start adding our form. The first thing we want to do is actually add a new inner section within the section we already have. Now what we can do is we can click on this column and we can start to design the background of that column. I'm going to choose a very light opacity white background. The final thing I'm going to do to this column is I'm going to insert padding on both the left and right side so that this column is not as wide. Now we can go back to the Elementor menu and we can add our form. From here we can start to mess with the form and the way it looks. I'm going to turn off the label and then I'm going to add all the form inputs that we need. Now I want to go down and I want to customize the button. The first thing I'm going to do is insert different text. Now I'm going to change the background color of the button to make it more appealing. The next thing I need to do is add a label to the form. I'm just going to drag another heading from the Elementor menu. The last thing I need to do is actually fix the padding within the column so that the form looks a little bit cleaner. I'm going to do this by grabbing the column settings and inserting some padding. Now that everything's styled, the last thing we need to do is click into our form, and we need to make sure that the form input is being sent to us by email. Do this by inserting the email of your choice and then click the subject of the email. The very last thing for you to do is go back into your WordPress dashboard, go to Settings, Reading, and then under Home Page Displays, click on a static page and scroll to Home Page. Once you save these changes, you can go to your domain and your new website is live.